But I think one of the important parts of the motion, and it's included in our amendment, is the issue of calling this a national emergency and actually declaring a national emergency. And I put that in all seriousness to the Minister, because the sort of dramatic radical action that is necessary is just not forthcoming. We're talking about tweaking, rebuilding Ireland. There are some measures that the Minister has announced that may make some difference, but they're not going to address the fundamental crisis that we face. And the key to the situation is for us to embark on an emergency programme of direct council housing construction on a massive scale, far, far more significant than you are now talking about, Minister. 3,000 council houses, 5,000 so-called social housing units next year, if they are delivered, just won't cut it. They are a drop in the ocean, Minister Murphy. When you add to that the number of new people that will come on the list in the next year and over the period of the 5 years, something I asked your officials about the other day, and I'd still like to get the figures on that, is what are the number of new applicants, because I believe the 91,000 that are on the list happened just after there had been a major cull of the housing list, and I think there is a very significantly bigger number of families on the housing list than the official figure would suggest, and we need to factor in the increased applications that will come on board. And against that background, what Rebuilding Ireland proposes is in fact 21,000 new constructions, direct by either the councils or the AHBs. The rest are refurbishments and other things. The vast majority of Rebuilding Ireland, 87,000, is RAS, HAPS and leasing. And you add in all the reliance on the private sector, you're up to about 90,000 or over 90,000. Now that is just not going to happen, Minister. I've been saying this to you and to your predecessors for the last number of years. It's not going to happen. And even if it does happen, it doesn't deliver secure social housing. It's not secure. One of the cases I'm dealing with, and I'm dealing with so many this week, is a family with 8 children, another one on the way. They are currently in a hotel in Shankill, and by the way, just before you think of moving them to a hub in town, they don't want to go. They don't want to go to a hub in town because their kids go to school in Shankill. So please don't move them out of the hotel unless you're going to move them into a council house. But they are now under, I think, well, they're being told by the council to try and go find what will be their 3rd RAS or HAPS tenancy. It's a joke. With 8 kids. And they're at breakdown point, right? At breakdown point, and they're being told there's no chance you're going to get a council house anytime soon, right? So HAPS will not cut it for them. HAPS is going to cost, even if you meet your figures, will cost between 800 million and €1 billion a year going out in payments to private landlords if you meet your targets, to provide social housing that is not secure, that is not permanent, that doesn't actually deliver the social housing that would actually resolve the problem. And against all of that background, Minister, you continue to talk about public-private partnerships, which will be flogging off, up to 2/3 of public land and housing stock that could be all public housing. You refuse to take the emergency measures to acquire the vacant housing units that are sitting out there, even if the CSO figure of 180,000 is not accurate. Even if 20% was accurate, 10%, that would be 18,000 units. 18,000 units. But where's the emergency legislation to get them? To actually get them now into the system and provide the housing for the people who are on the list. It's not forthcoming.